welcome to another semester. This is the 8th semester in a row of which we've had the open classroom. And we've covered a range of topics, ranging from the first semester, which was all on the 21st century city, to one in which we looked at economic growth and social justice. Last semester, you may remember, we looked at demography. Is demography destiny? We've looked at a whole set of issues, including in 2008, Professor Michael Dukakis and I ran a course called Policy Advice to the Next President. And we will see tomorrow night whether he took any of it. And then in 2010, during the gubernatorial election, we looked at policy advice to the governor. He did take some of our advice. So we're back, and this semester is the one that I am most excited about. I'm Barry Bluestone. I'm the Dean of the School of Public Policy and Urban Affairs and Director of the Kitty and Michael Dukakis Center for Urban and Regional Policy. And so I welcome you in that official capacity. But I want to tell you just a little bit about what we're going to be doing in this course, introduce my two co-conveners, and then we will introduce our main speaker. For those of you who have not been here before, you may know our norm is to take about the first hour for presentation, and then we'll take a very brief break, and then we'll come back and it's your turn. We'll have about 45 minutes for open, uncensored questions and answers of our speakers. So this semester, we decided, as you could tell from the website, to focus on what is the role for government in the 21st century. For those of you who remember way back, to maybe the Kennedy era, or even before that, government was seen as something that actually helped people. Today, we seem to be quite confused about what government should do. We seem to have a president who may even be confused about what government should do. And we're not only talking about the federal government, but we're talking about state government and local government. So we decided, Professor Dukakis and Professor Burns and myself, that we would devote this entire semester to specifically that question: what should government do in the 21st century? And to give you just a rough idea of what we'll be doing, the first half of the course, for about the first 7 weeks, is all kind of theoretical background. As you know, today we're going to introduce the whole topic with one of my dearest friends, and I think one of the wisest commentators on the economy anywhere on the planet, Robert Kuttner. Next week, you may know that we are going to take a look at how Hollywood looks at government. We're going to do about 30 minutes of film clips from 1915 through a couple of years ago, and ask the question, does Hollywood guide public opinion about government, or does public opinion guide Hollywood? And we have two marvelous people to help us do that. A great filmmaker in his own right, Eric Stange, documentary filmmaker for Nova and PBS, and Larry Lowenthal, who used to teach film criticism at NYU. We're going to go on from there to look at some philosophical questions. Philosophically, what should the role of government be? We're going to look at a series of debates that I have actually been thinking about for a long time and have taught for almost 40 years. One of them asking, what should be a market good, something you buy, versus what should be a right, like freedom of speech, or perhaps food. We're going to ask that question. And my argument is going to be, it has everything to do with the political discourse of today. We're also going to have a wonderful debate. My friend Jim Sturgios, who heads up the Pioneer Institute, a very kind of conservative think tank in Greater Boston, and I are going to be debating two great economists who died a couple years ago, Milton Friedman and Ken Galbraith. And I'm going to be the one who plays Milton Friedman. We're going to go on from there to look at a whole series of issues about what should government do. What is government's role in the arts? What is government's role in socializing risk? What is government's role in helping expand business enterprise and business development? And we have a marvelous lineup of people. But without further ado, let me introduce one of our two co-conveners of this course, and my dear, dear friend, Professor Michael Dukakis. And Mike, I think you might have a few words to suggest how we open this up.